Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll talk about the newly went GA certification in the Kubernetes ecosystem, which is KCNA, Kubernetes and Cloud Native Associate. So KCNA have been was announced at KubeCon. It had beta kind of testers who gave the exam. The results came out a few days back, and people have been posting them around. So I thought let's create something out of it. I was one of the SMEs and helped in the creation of the certification. So as the name suggests, like Kubernetes and Cloud Native exam is focused heavily on Kubernetes and the Cloud Native ecosystem. It is the entry level exam, and the curriculum is available on CNCF GitHub repository. So this exam focuses kind of on Kubernetes, the cloud native ecosystem, the governance, some of the concepts and terminologies and principles. This is a multiple choice based exam, so it's not like the CKD, CKA, CKS, which are the other three hands-on certifications available in the Kubernetes ecosystem. So this one is a very beginner friendly. So anybody, like from program managers to the sales team, marketing team, anybody who wants to get involved in Kubernetes and cloud native ecosystem, and this is the one that they can target for. And obviously the beginners, I would say, should target for the KCNA, because that is kind of the first entry level now that has become. So let's go through the curriculum. Pretty straightforward. This is what the curriculum looks like. So 46% is Kubernetes fundamentals. So this exams, yes, focuses on Kubernetes, and you should be knowing about Kubernetes. So what about Kubernetes? Now the basic building blocks of Kubernetes, like what Kubernetes is, what is the architecture of Kubernetes, the components like the controller manager, cloud controller manager, scheduler, kubelet, kubeproxy. What are all these components do? How the cloud controller manager is helping at various levels. What does it do? And how scheduler is helping in scheduling the pods on the nodes. What is a pod then? And also dwelling down into the pod, like a pod, then pod will be having containers. They can be multi containers. Then how the containers connect with each other on same host, on different hosts, how things like that work. Also about the so this was the Kubernetes architecture. Then Kubernetes resources, like what is a deployment, what is a replica set, what is a stateful set, what is a service, different types of service, which type of service associates with which kind of a Kubernetes object. So things like that will definitely be there on the exam. So it you need to know the fundamentals of Kubernetes, you need to know the architecture, and you need to know how to create stuff. What is the API version means, the resources, the kind, all that stuff you need to know. Then obviously the Kubernetes API. What is Kubernetes API? How it is communicating within the cluster to communicate with all the components, and how from outside people communicate with Kubernetes clusters. Then containers, obviously the container level pod. In the pod, you are having the containers, how the container is getting spin up, and then you have the scheduling. So Kubernetes definitely you need. So I would say, like, there is a good course which is on edX, I believe. So there is this blog by my friend Brad. I think there is a course which is, yeah. So this one is a free course on edX, Introduction to Kubernetes by Linux Foundation. So make sure you take that course, because this covers kind of what all is required in this particular portion. So the kind of 46% is covered. So Kubernetes, and if you have done any certification, probably you won't need much of the preparation work. Then you have the container orchestration. Yes, what are the different container runtimes out there, and how they are used, not in the terms of technicality, but at least the definitions, which container runtime is following the OCI spec, and all those stuff. Then obviously you should know what a CSI is, what a CNI is, what a container runtime interface is, all the interfaces, service mesh interface, and then networking, how it is working, how the container networking is working, service mesh terminologies. Basic. You don't need to have an extensive experience on working with STO or Linkerd, but in general, what are the building blocks of what are the principles of a service mesh, and why it is there. So the terminology, the concepts, and the principles. I think these three things are common across all the areas which are there. So next is the cloud native architecture. So you need to know the cloud native architecture fundamentals, like what are the building blocks when you think of creating a cloud native application. What are the principles to be followed? Then you have auto scaling, the horizontal pod autoscaler, VPA, cluster autoscaler. What are they? How do they work? And conceptually, and then serverless. What do you mean by serverless? And then you have community and governance. So in the community and governance, like what is a TOC, SIG, and what are the special groups that are created in terms of community, and how the governance is working. What are the principles of the security layer in the cloud native architecture? So all these things, you will find that on the exam. What are different personas for that, and open standards? What do you mean by the open standards? Then you have the cloud native observability. You will find questions from observability, telemetry, some of the the observability pillars, and the cost management, Prometheus. Also you'll be going a complete cycle of the cloud native application delivery. So tools, there will be different toolings that will be like, you should be knowing what Helm is, what is GitOps, what are the different toolings in GitOps, like Flux, Argo CD. These are there. So what is CI/CD fundamentally? So you should be knowing all these things fundamentally. Obviously, you cannot learn everything on Kubernetes and then you learn Prometheus and try to install that, all that. But the thing is, you need to have a clear understanding of Kubernetes. That is a must. You need to have understandings of the conceptual principles of the cloud native architecture, the CNCF landscape, what all projects fit in what all domains. And it's very clearly mentioned, like, what is GitOps, projects in that, CI/CD, and then the application delivery fundamentals, the cloud native architecture, again, very specific to the whatever is mentioned, like, auto scaling is there. There can be questions over that. Community and governance, they can be questioned over that. So all these things together will make up the exam, and which is a 90-minute exam, 60 questions that you'll be getting, all MCU types that you have to choose, available across all locations. You just have to currently it's in English, so you need to understand that. Another way to learn Kubernetes is Civo Academy. So this is something that I have curated, and all these are the instructors. So you can see before Kubernetes, Kubernetes concepts. I have also walked through the Kubernetes objects. If you have networking, service, volumes, config and security. So obviously, this is much more than is required from the KCNA perspective. But there will be questions like diving through the concepts, like diving through from the Kubernetes layer down to the container and how they work. So I think it's pretty interesting. And make sure you have this course. This is where you book the exam, enroll. And I think you can always try to find some coupons. With respect to that, there is some coupon going on that you can currently use that. And there is one retake which is available as well. And yeah, certification valid for 3 years, includes 12-month exam eligibility. So that's one of the experiences. So Brad McCoy has shared his experience in terms of exam format, domains, where to learn from. I told you all these stuff. Cloud native architecture, how CNCF is working, governance, roles and personas. Yeah, this is like the marketing board, technical advisory groups, and user community SIGs, and also the kubectl commands. So they can be like kubectl commands to select which one is the right command to do a particular task. So that is also there. And yep, I think that's pretty much it. You should not be too much tensed if you already have given any one of the certifications before. It's pretty simple, and you might feel that it doesn't add much of the value, but in terms of Kubernetes, yes. But there are questions around the cloud native which are not there in any of the other certifications. And also you cannot compare, right? They are the next level. This is the entry level. The CKAD, CKA, CKS, they are the next level certifications, which is proper hands-on. So that's it about the KCNA certification. It aims to be very beginner friendly, removing the barrier of going towards the other certifications, and also helping out people in getting their skills verified in terms of cloud native and Kubernetes at a very conceptualized principles and conceptual way. So yeah, go ahead and take that certification. It's nice to have that fancy badge. And if you are already done any of the CK, CKAD, and CKS, you can probably take it right away. If not, then probably go through some of the courses of basic Kubernetes introduction, navigate the landscape, go through all the things that I mentioned in the curriculum. You should always focus on the curriculum which is given by CNCF. Always the questions fall in one of the domains which is mentioned over there. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, which keeps me going. And make sure you keep an eye on the upcoming live streams. Thank you all.